Cryptocurrency Mining 101. This is a guide to frequently asked questions about cryptocurrency mining, from what is cryptocurrency mining, how many bitcoins are left to mine, can you mine on your phone and stuff like that, to something more sophisticated, such as what is merge mining. And all the questions are time-linked, time-stamped on the timeline, so jump to whichever one you need. Let's get started. What is cryptocurrency mining? Mining is a process by which new coins are added into the circulation, and also, by the same process, new transactions are added to the public ledger. That is done by cryptocurrency miners. Miners are the ones who solve multiple computational puzzles, and this process is known as hashing, to add new blocks to the blockchain, to this public ledger known as blockchain. And that's kind of the whole process of mining. For this process, for putting in the energy and the resources, the miners are rewarded with block rewards and transaction fees that people pay when they commit a transaction on a blockchain. How many bitcoins are left to mine? Overall, there is a hard cap of how many bitcoins can be mined, and that is 21 million. However, keep in mind that it can be changed with the majority vote by the Bitcoin community. Out of those 21 million, 19.5 have been mined already. And that leaves us 1.5 million or so bitcoins left to be mined. And the approximate year when this happens is 2140. Is mining profitable? Well, it is profitable for some people and not profitable for others, and some people are hesitating because it's literally almost break even for them. This depends on hardware costs, electricity costs, and the cryptocurrency price. And of course, no financial advice, and this in the end all comes down to electricity costs. While cryptocurrency price is of course very important, there is also something to keep in mind with it, because the higher the prices, the higher is the interest of other people who would like to mine it. So there are going to be more miners at the higher price, likely, and that will mean that it is harder to get a block and to get your proportion of the rewards. And that will mean that you're probably less profitable. So in the very end, if their cryptocurrency price is lower, and there are likely also fewer miners, so it might mean that you can get a higher proportion of the rewards and that you can still stay profitable. One of the most commonly asked questions I see is, what do I need to mine cryptocurrency, and can I mine on my phone? Well, I don't want to disappoint you, but let's be clear, most cryptocurrencies cannot be mined on the phone because that is a process that requires a lot of computational resource. If NVIDIA or AMD kind of release a phone with a GPU or an ASIC that is kind of inserted into the phone, then sure, we can go ahead and check it out. But rest assured, there have not been phones like that yet. And most cryptocurrencies cannot be mined on the phone, and if something or some cryptocurrency tells you that there is something on the phone, really look into it and make sure whether it is really mining or it is something else. Most major cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, require specialized equipment for mining. So those are called ASICs. However, there are certain altcoins that you can mine without any kind of specialized hardware with your GPU. And GPU is just a part of your computer that many computers have, so you don't even have to buy anything. And those altcoins can be Coin Network or Lithium, or I'm not sure about Caspa, but basically it all depends on the specific technical requirements of the cryptocurrency that you are mining and the hashing algorithm that it is using. Is it better to mine cryptocurrency or to buy it? Well, it of course depends on the market conditions and what your strategy is. Mining is more of a long-term investment if you'd like to accumulate over time and maybe sell at some points. And buying cryptocurrency offers you more of an immediate ownership, and it is more likely to suit those who would like to do some immediate actions with crypto and maybe exchange it for something or sell it and buy it very often. So of course, pick the one that suits your strategy best and suits the market conditions best, and no financial advice. Each comes with their own risks and potential rewards. What is the difference between solo mining and pool mining? Solo mining means you set up all the equipment yourself, you manage it yourself, you do everything yourself, and you get the rewards just for yourself as well. Pool mining means multiple miners connect together and decide to organize together to solve and put all their computational power together to solve for one block. So they get a higher chance of solving each one block than any individual miners by themselves. And then they take the block reward and they split it according to the computational power each of them provided. How much electricity does mining consume? Mining, especially of major cryptocurrency, of course, is very energy intensive. However, that is the whole point of mining cryptocurrency. You input the energy, there as a resource and you get the money out of it. You kind of create the money by putting in one resource and converting it into another type of resource. So that is a lot of energy. It sometimes is compared to some smaller countries such as Switzerland. So the whole mining of Bitcoin is compared to Switzerland. However, it also is compared to the use by all dryers, clothes dryers in the world. So yeah, there are some interesting comparisons you can make. But keep in mind that cryptocurrency is aimed to not just be on top of whatever we have as energy in the first place. It aims to replace certain aspects that we use. What is mining difficulty and hash rate? Mining difficulty determines how hard it is to find a new block, and it adjusts based on the block time that we decided upon creation of the cryptocurrency. So for every cryptocurrency, there is a block time that is set. So for example, for Bitcoin, block time is expected to be 10 minutes more or less. And if there is the block time being too fast, so the blocks appear every 8 minutes or every 5 minutes, that means the mining difficulty is too low. Therefore, there are too many miners with powerful machines that solve the puzzles too quickly. Therefore, you need to increase the difficulty, and that's what is done to keep the block time at 10 minutes. However, on the other hand, if the block time is, let's say, 15 minutes, that means there are very few miners with not enough computational power to solve the mining difficulty that is out there. So you kind of have to reduce it, and that is what is done automatically. And therefore, the Bitcoin miners can mine the blocks faster and therefore keep the block time more or less constant at 10 minutes. Hash rate is a total amount of computational power and, so to say, work, because it is actually work that is being produced, that is actually done to process the transactions and mine cryptocurrency. Every machine has a specific hash rate as well, so the more efficient they are or the more powerful they are, the higher the hash rate, and therefore the higher hash rate they introduce to the total hash rate of the network. So the total hash rate means all the hash rate of all the machines that are mining this cryptocurrency combined. What is an ASIC? ASIC is an application-specific integrated circuit. That means it is a machine that is very well optimized for a specific task, and that task is cryptocurrency mining. Mining can be of different types as well, because cryptocurrencies use different hashing algorithms. So, for example, Bitcoin and Dogecoin use SHA-256 hashing algorithm, and there are multiple ASICs available for that algorithm, and that means they're very optimized, very well in efficiency and costs for mining. However, they're really bad for anything else. What happens when all Bitcoins are mined? When all 21 million Bitcoins are mined, and that is expected in 2140, the miners are not going to receive any more block rewards. However, they are going to still receive the gas fees that people pay for transactions, and the community of Bitcoin expects that those gas fees are going to be enough to cover the mining costs and the electricity costs. However, there are many arguments going around that and whether it is okay and whether those gas fees are going to be enough or not. And technically, this can be changed. Technically, they can change this hard cap of 21 million to something higher so that miners keep receiving the mining rewards. What is Bitcoin halving? Halving is a deflationary mechanism by which there are fewer and fewer Bitcoins emitted over time. It happens every 4 years or so, or in other words, it happens every 210,000 Bitcoin blocks mined. That means that mining rewards, the mining block rewards, are cut in half, that is halving. What is proof of work? Proof of work is a security mechanism by which you input a lot of computational power to validate transactions, and therefore this ensures that you are protected against different attacks, because attacks are going to be much harder because you will need to put computational resources to do any kind of attack, right? That is the consensus mechanism used by Bitcoin and multiple other cryptocurrencies such as Dogecoin, and this is one of the most popular ones among miners. However, it's not the only one. For example, there is also proof of entropy minimum that is used by Coin Network, and there are several other versions of proof of work that are used by others. However, they are, of course, a bit less popular because they have not existed for as long as proof of work did. And proof of work was not invented by Bitcoin, just saying. It is the technology that has existed for security purposes for a long time. What is proof of stake? It is another consensus mechanism used by multiple cryptocurrencies, and unlike proof of work, that does not use a lot of energy. Instead, the validators, because you don't have miners in proof of stake, the validators in proof of stake, they stake a certain amount of money. That means they lock some tokens or coins, and therefore they get a chance to participate participate in the total consensus, in the total appending process of the blocks to the blockchain. What are cloud mining services? Cloud mining services allow people to rent mining equipment and computational power. So instead of setting everything up yourself, you just pay somebody to set it up for you and manage it for you as well. And you set up a mining contract with them, and they can vary in different conditions and duration and all of that. What are mining farms? Mining farms are huge, usually industrial facilities filled with mining equipment and often specialized mining equipment. So they produce a lot of the global hash rate, that of the full cryptocurrency mining, and they either offer cloud mining services or they just get all the resources themselves. And they're also usually set up in places with very cheap electricity costs. How do mining pools distribute rewards among participants? There are several different mechanisms that they do it. First one is pay per share, that is very common. Then pay per last N shares, that is slightly different, and also proportional. They are all slightly different, but the idea is that you still get paid proportional or more or less proportional to how much computational power you contribute. What is a 51% attack? That is when a single entity gains 51% or more of the total computational power of the network. That allows them to do the blocks as they wish, basically. So they can double spend coins, they can not allow other miners to join because they just produce all the blocks themselves. And this compromises blockchain security by a lot. And the whole integrity can be blown up even if they did not any kind of malicious things. So it's better to keep mining as distributed as possible. What is merged mining? Merged mining is an old concept that I think is not talked about enough. It is the process by which you can mine several cryptocurrencies with the same amount of computational power. So you leverage the computational power you use to mine, let's say, Bitcoin, and you use it also to mine another one, namely Namecoin. And that is the first implementation of merged mining that has been around, Bitcoin and Namecoin. And you have to make sure that the cryptocurrencies have the same hashing algorithm behind, so let's say SHA-256 or ProcPow. What are ASIC-resistant cryptocurrencies? These cryptocurrencies use specific hashing algorithms, such as ProcPow, to make sure that there is no ASIC that can be developed to mine this cryptocurrency. So ProcPow, for example, it uses several parts of the GPU that are not present in an ASIC, and therefore you cannot create an ASIC for it, or at least it has not been created yet, and you have to use a GPU to mine it. Mining is supposed to be more decentralized because people who don't have access to an ASIC can still join and use their general purpose computer to mine this cryptocurrency. Or they can buy something cheaper than an ASIC, being a GPU, and also join the mining powers. And that's kind of the whole idea of it. If you found this video a good recap or you learned something new, please consider subscribing, even if you don't intend to watch every video I publish, because it still tells YouTube that these videos are not too bad and it can continue recommending my channel further. So this really helps me to grow my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.